started chapter 4, types of economics. That only will continue. Now today we will discuss demerits of capitalism. So first is inequalities of income and wealth. In the demerits means a drawback. Demerit of the capital. First one is inequalities of income and wealth. That means in this system, in capitalist economy, the income inequalities of wealth exist there, wealth and income, and it is because that rich peoples, they are the capitalists and they are having the property with them, so they become more powerful and richer day by day, but poor becomes poorer. So income distribution is unequal in capitalist economy. And next is class struggle. Now class struggle means in economics, in capitalist economy there exists always class struggle, and the main class is capitalist class and the worker class. So there is always a struggle between these two class, capitalist class and worker class. For that the functioning of capitalist economy also hampers. Next is economic instability. Now economic instability is also a demerit of capitalist economy, and it occurs due to the because there is no coordinating agency existing in capitalist economy. So it's seen that in economy oftenly occurs sometimes overproduction or underproduction, then inflation, unemployment, then boom and depression. Boom here means overproduction, means production which is more than required because there is no coordinating agency, and underproduction means whatever the requirement is there, less than that production is being occurred, and boom means your there is demand is more, and depression means whatever the supply is there, supply is excessive and demand is less. So this type of problem occurs in capitalist economy, that is called economic instability. And next is misallocation of resources. Misallocation of resources means since the in capitalist economy some peoples are means rich, so production mainly occurs of luxurious goods, and resources are being allotted to that type of goods which the richer section use. For that, because they have purchasing power more, and for that since the capitalists want to earn profit more, so they try to produce that type of good which is having more in demand, and poorer sections, they are having less income. That's why the demand for that type of goods is less and profit is also less. So allocation of resources in the goes to luxurious good only mainly. And next is wastage of capitalist production. Wastage of capitalist in production means due in capitalist economy it has been seen that there are some wastage. But suppose if technology is improving, as more innovations are being done by capitalists, then due to new technology, the previous technology are being discarded. So this is called one type of wastage. And then producers to sell, since competition is more there, producers always invest more on advertisements. This is called also one kind of wastage. And third is consumers are also since new products are coming, they discard the product to get new type of products. And next is emergence of monopoly power. It is seen that in capitalist economy monopoly power emerges, means some capitalists they become monopoly, they gain monopoly power, and due to that since they are the only producer of any commodity, monopoly power means they are only producing that commodity. No, due to competition no other company or industry is existing before them, that industrialists. So they, what they do, they keep the prices of the commodity high, and production they keep under restriction, and in this way they exploit consumers. And next is neglect of social welfare. Neglect of social welfare means, since here production is profit motive, so social welfare is being neglected. That means whatever is good for society, that product, that thing is not being taken under consideration. And next is domination of economic value. Here economic value means monetary value. So since the all the in capitalist economy, all the product, all the things are considered from profit motive, so everything is considered under monetary value. A person is called successful if he is earning more, and he's getting profit more. So other values like cultural value, social value, or any other values are not being they are getting subordinated under this economic values. So these are the demerits of capitalist economy. Last time we have discussed merit and capitalist economy. Now we'll move to socialist economy, or this is also called communist economy. Socialism, socialistic economy, or this is also called communist economy. The socialistic economic system, this is the definition. The socialistic economic system is defined as an economic system in which the means of production are owned by the entire society. So here means of production means whatever the means of production means being used for production, like land, then factories, mills, everything is under the entire society and operated by the public authority according to a general economic plan for the benefit of entire community. So here actually one state is there who plans everything, and everything is owned by that state, and that state only plan everything, and what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Everything is planned by the state, and it is done for benefit of entire society. This the example of this socialist economy, actually this socialist economy started by Soviet Russia at first, and after Second World War, maximum East European countries also followed this socialist economic system, and recently from all maximum countries this system has been collapsed, and now to some extent this socialist economy is existing now. And these countries which are there are some examples of countries in which some extent of socialist economy is existing right now. Others has been collapsed, but yet we have to read this definition and features and demerits. To some extent that countries are China, Cuba, Vietnam. In these countries to some extent yet it is existing. Next is features of socialist economy. Socialistic ownership of productive resources. Here society is having ownership of all productive resources. As you can see that in the definition only you will get that features. Already I have told that all the productive resources are owned by society, like mill, factories, land, everything are owned by society. And next is economic planning. Economic planning means everything is planned by, as I told in definition only, that everything is being planned by state, that what to produce, how to produce, or for whom to produce. So these are the features, that everything is planned by state, and state will plan that for whom to produce and what will be investment where to produce, which how to produce means which technology will be used. So everything is planned by state. And then social welfare as the motivating force. And whatever the third feature is that social welfare is as the motivating force. As you have seen that in capitalist economy main motive is profit motive, but here since state is planning, so it is being planned that society's welfare is the main motive, that society will get benefited from that planning. And whatever the planning will be there, it all will be for society. And next is economic equalities. Economic equalities means since here state is there only planner, so here every individual will get equal income, and the distribution of income will be equal. So, though it is saying that equal, but it is not exactly absolute in equal, but according to skill and efficiency there will be some differences, but there will be no unearned income. Unearned income means that since nobody is having any property, so from property they will not getting any extra income. So property income will be absent here. Only they will earn according to their efficiency, skill, and it will be more or less equal distribution. Then classless society. Since only state is there and no capitalist is there, no other private owners are there, and the state is providing employment to laborers, so there will be, and they will not exploit, state will not exploit the workers. So rather state will benefit the workers. State will see that if the worker will be benefited, they will work more, they will it is the thinking that they will work more, and since their job is also secure, their earning is secure, so there is no class conflict, as because no exploitation is there. And the last one is elimination of competition. And since only here no private ownership is there, so there is no competition, and prices will be determined by state only. State will regulate everything, price, production, so there will be no competition. So these are the features of socialist economy. Now from here, what will be the merits then? Better allocation of resources. Better of allocation of resources means since state is determining that what to produce, so state, and it is not profit motive, it is welfare motive, social welfare motive. So whatever the necessary things are there, resources will be allocated to that type of production only. So that's why it is called better allocation of resources. Resources will be not allocated to luxurious goods, rather than it will be allocated to necessary goods. Next is fuller utilization of resources. Again here, since state is planning everything, so here state will not leave any resources unutilized. That means there will be not any unemployment. Everybody will get everybody will be employed, or everything will be employed. That is called fuller utilization of resources. Then elimination of economic instability. Here also, since planning is being done, that state is planning everything, so before planning, there will be, state will get a comprehensive idea, that means total idea, that what demand should be there, and what are the requirements of how society will be benefited. That type of production will be there, and how much they will produce. So there will be no overproduction, no underproduction, and no boom. That means no excess demand, and no depression. No, that means no less demand. And since already before I told that there will be no unemployment, so these things are features, merits of socialist economy. Then equitable distribution of income. As it is earlier in features only told that it is everybody will get equal opportunity to get their income, so equal income will be there. And provision of social security, sorry, next is elimination of class struggle. So as I told that class, these are the benefits only. It has been given in features that there will be no class struggle, because no state will work for beneficiary of worker only. So there, and since workers are getting benefited, state will not exploit worker, so there will be no class struggle. And promotion of social security means with with less means no workers exploitation there, rather than state will provide security like health security and old age pension, then house rent, all these things are provided, and job security, these things will be, the social security will be provided by state. Then increase in productive efficiency. Increase in productive efficiency means since government is having government or state is having production that decision, so production will be more according to states planning. Since planning is being done, and since workers are benefited, so the worker will workers job will be, they will give their efficiency of production, means labor efficiency very nicely. And next is rapid economic growth. Rapid economic growth here means that since state is controlling everything, and state has enough capacity to invest in research and development, so this type of investment will be there, then technological improvement will be there. So state will also invest in case of in improvement like infrastructural improvement like roads, then bridges and everything. So in that case economy will, and say more investment will be there, so in this way economy will grow. And last one is production of more useful goods. Production of more useful goods means here that since, as it is being told also earlier, that necessary goods production will be more rather than luxury goods production, so that's why which goods are being more useful to society, that type of goods will be produced more. So today up to this much we have discussed the demerits of capitalism, definition of socialist economy, features and methods. Thank you.